rappers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Probably like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that at. Where we do that at. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that at. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the sports coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
All right. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in this installment of the show. Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Listen, fam, we got a special guest in the building, man. We got brother Birdgang 31 representing the Eagle Nation, here to talk black and gold and green in the preview. So we gonna welcome the brother. How you doing, brother? It's been a while since the last time we had you in, bro. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Sorry, give me a second here. I'm trying to get things straightened up here on my end. You know what I'm saying? But I'm doing good, man. How you been?
Pretty good, brother. It's been a while since the last time we had you on the stream, man, to talk about Philly, man, and a lot of stuff shaking and baking with both our squads, man. And listen, bro, I thought about it's no one better to talk about the Philly Nation, man, and what's going on than Birdgang 31. So you up in this thing, bro. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. And y'all hit the like button, man, as we get ready to talk and preview the Saints and the Eagles, man. And let's get right to it, bro. Kind of talk to us about the matchup that you guys had last week, man. I know you guys had a tough matchup against the Atlanta Falcons on Monday Night Football. You're operating on a short week, bro. So what's your thoughts on the Falcons, what happened in the Falcon game from your perspective, bro?
You know, I'm just going to chalk it up to, lack of preseason. That's all I can do right now is chalk it up to that, because at the end of the day, everybody had high expectations for this football team. And right now we're not really living up to them. The first game of the week season was in Brazil. We did our thing there, but it was kind of sloppy. It kind of gave me vibes of last year, like how it's like sloppy, but a win. So then everybody, we come back, home opener, got Jason Kelsey there, Fletcher Cox there, Nick Foles jersey retirement. You're expecting the Birds to go off. So they didn't really do that, which was really bad. And, we took that L, which was a lot of minor mistakes. We had plenty of times to, put that game away, and we definitely didn't do it. And then, questionable play calling throughout the game. So I'm hoping it's just everybody's gelling, trying to get things together, and, we can get right this week.
Yeah, man. And bro, listen, I was cheering for you guys to take care of business against Atlanta, man. I really wanted y'all to get that dub. You know how we feel against Atlanta down here. And anytime Atlanta loses, we win. So we were cheering for you, and it didn't work, but that's all right, man. We'll have to take care of that in a couple of weeks when we see those guys. But let's get right into the breakdown, bro, because kind of talk about the strengths of the Philly team. I know, and this is my perspective from just going over what I see, bro, from the as a black and gold man looking at Philly and scouting Philly. I'm very familiar with Jalen Hurts. He was in the SEC. I'm an LSU guy as well. So, I scouted and seen a lot of play from Jalen Hurts from his time with Alabama. He went on in that final year at Oklahoma, put up major stats. Philly took him, I think in the second round, bro, y'all took him. So, and he's really turned into not only the face of the Philly franchise, but the engine. And it just appears to me that he makes it all go. And if he's not there, or if he's not playing that high level of football, Philly looks different. So what is your thought process on Jalen Hurts, the engine, as far as Philly's concerned, bro?
Okay, now I'm going to keep that real 100. I think Jalen Hurts is, one of the most gifted quarterbacks there is in the league. He showed that the Super Bowl run year where, he put up all those nice numbers, came behind, just behind Patrick Mahomes in the MVP voting. And then, it goes straight to, last year he was playing hurt all last year. So you didn't really get to see the best of him. Play calling was shoddy too as well. So, this year I was looking for him to bounce back. Now I think his legs just came back. I still feel like, like he forces the ball a little bit, to AJ and Devontae, which is not a bad thing since they're two of the best receivers in the game. But at the end of the day, he needs to get more comfortable with these other receivers, and then really spread the ball around. We picked up Jahan Dotson from Washington, and I was really hoping to see him have an impact on our offense over the first couple of weeks here. But, like Jalen says, we're working them back into the offense. But, Jalen Hurts is going to be fine. I think it's just early. The lack of preseason, I think, is really a big deal. And I think you're starting to see that, across the league with quarterbacks. Patty Mahomes had a down week last week. I'm saying? Like, people lost. The Niners lost. Ravens ain't won a game yet, and they have that former MVP, two-time MVP, Lamar Jackson. So I think it was one of his better games. I just think if you look at him, he's not as sharp as he needs to be. He can be a little bit more sharper with his decision making. We put a little bit more on his plate this year, which hopefully, he's picked up well. He's a lot better against the blitz this year than he was last year, so that's a plus. And he's also using his legs, so that's also a plus. I would like to see him be a little bit more decisive when he's throwing that rock out there.
Yeah, bro. And like I said, the most dangerous aspect, I believe, of Jalen Hurts' game, bro, is the fact that he ad-libs. He's able to get outside the pocket and be able to extend plays and move around. He takes off on you, and at times it appears as he's the fastest guy on the field, man. So, I mean, that's one of the things that we have to watch out for in terms of Jalen Hurts. Just his escapability, taking off and picking up yards real easy. You guys added Saquon Barkley, man, the former Giant, to your team to kind of give you guys a boost in the running attack. We know about AJ. We know about Smith. Those guys are good. Also, Goddard is another guy. Kind of talk to me about the philosophy of the Philly offense. What is the main philosophy of Philly? Is this considered a running team?
Well, you see with Kellen Moore, it's new. So Jalen Hurts said 95% new. Is it really 95% new? Maybe to him because he has more responsibilities. But, I do like the new motioning and whatnot that goes on with this team. And I think on offense, it all streams between AJ and Smitty on the passing game, and then our new acquisition in Saquon Barkley. I think Saquon Barkley brings a new dynamic to this team, and which, I feel like, it's going to be really hard for people to really cue in on any certain star, but, but be able to, as long as Jalen Hurts is spreading out the ball, getting the right person the ball, it should be a lot easier for him this year. This offense, man, is just really, really kind of the same, except for I do feel like we are running the ball a little bit more than we did before, which is a good thing because I also believe that the run, sets up the pass. And as long as you're running the football at a high level, it's hard to really key it. You have to, drop people down to the box, and that leaves Smitty, AJ and them open. We won't have AJ this game. So if you just talk about this game specifically, I think Jalen needs to do his best job as in getting other people to football this upcoming week.
Yeah, bro, that's a big part of it, man. We were looking to see what was going on with AJ Brown, and they have him listed as doubtful for the match. Some say did not practice, so yeah, they kind of changing it there. I don't know how good he'll be, but like I said, the Jahan Dotson is just a blazer, man. That's another guy with a rocket on his back. We got one down here. We call him Rocket Rashid. He's been really showing out, but y'all guys got Dotson. He's pretty quick. What about the offensive line, Birdgang? How your offensive line, man? I know y'all got Becton and Lane Johnson and those guys, but how good is that O line, bro?
Hey, we're always one of the best O lines. Our philosophy is build from the trenches first. So, that being said, we lost Hall of Famer Jason Kelsey, which kind of sucks. But at the end of the day, we've been grooming his backup for the last couple of years, so it's not like it's a total loss. Jurgens is a little bit bigger. He's just as athletic. His deal is he just got to get more adapted because he played, guard last year, and he's back to his original position. the center right now. But we still got Lane Johnson, who's all pro, one of the best right tackles in the game, if not the best right tackle in the game. We still got Jordan Mailata, who's came from a never playing football to a Pro Bowl left tackle over there. Landon Dickerson, both of those guys just got paid. One of the best left guards in football. And I really like Mekhi Becton this year. I think Becton has made strides in becoming a really good guard for us. With his size and strength and athleticism. He was a former first-round pick. So I feel like him adjusting to the new position is really going to help him and help us moving forward. And I think that we should continue to be one of the best lines in football. I don't see why we can't. I think the first couple of weeks have shown that we can play at a high level together. But it's still a work in progress. Like I said, when you don't start these guys in the preseason, in the first couple of games, they're just trying to get the chemistry down. But so far so good. We haven't really gave up too many sacks so far in the first 2 games. We've been mauling people in the run game. Saquon's looking great out there, having holes to run through. And I think, as the season progresses, this team's going to get nothing but better and better throughout the season with this offensive lines. Injuries. Without injuries, this team could be the very best, if not one of the top 5.
Yeah, it's Jalen Hurts has I consider it a very solid offensive line, man. Given Barkley is a good complement there. If Brown and Smith are there, man, that's a formidable offensive unit there, bro, to be honest with you. And it's something to take notice of. Shout out to Julius Rickles, man. Thank you, man, for becoming a member of the channel, man. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
And shout out to the rest of the fam, man. We got Birdgang 31 in this thing, man. Breaking down the matchup here with us, bro. Because listen, bro, and we know that's going to be interesting because it's all about the trench warfare, right? Mm-hmm. Whoever dominates the trenches, those guys ultimately going to end up accomplishing and getting a win. So we've had some pretty positive outings against the first 2 weeks, but it's still very early, and we're not looking at anybody underrating anybody. Anybody can beat that any day. We just have to stay disciplined and focus on the mission at hand. But the trenches, man, that's where it has to happen at, man, for success to occur. Birdgang, kind of moving on to your defense, bro. Kind of put us on game about the Philly defense, man. We seen them have some plays against Atlanta in week 2. Then we had seen a real nasty breakdown on that last drive, bro, where Atlanta was able to march the field. I didn't like that at all. That's a Vic Fangio defense. He comes from down here. He has New Orleans roots. He's moving around. He's one of the better coordinators in the game, man. So that was unopportunistic for his defense to look like that. Zach Bond, we're familiar with Zach Bond. We didn't use Zach Bond in the way we really needed to use him. Y'all guys are using him to perfection in Fangio's defense. We know about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Reed Blankenship is having a solid play as well. We know about Darius Slay. Kind of hip us to the game about the defense. Who are some of the guys on the defense that make it go that we need to be aware of, bro?
Right now, our defense is definitely a work in progress. Like you said, Banjos came over, and brought. Basically, I feel like we've been running his scheme the last 3 years. We had disciples from him on our defense from JG Jonathan Gannon. Desai came over last year. And I think that we're working it through. See, he's an old school type football coach, so he only wants the players. He don't care if you get first round pick, if you're getting paid all the bag or not. He wants the players to get out there and work. He had a press conference today saying, it's his job to get these guys a little bit better prepared. In terms of the red zone defense, I think we should be one of the tops in the league at the red zone, in the red zone defense. We've been really handling our business down there. It's just between the 20s is where we're seeing them struggle. We do got a lot of young faces on that defensive squad. I do believe that we will see these guys get better, throughout the season. What I'm saying? Like, we got a rookie cornerback in Quinyon Mitchell, who's had a good game, against the Green Bay Packers, and also came back to earth a little bit last week. Even though he didn't give up too much, I think they said like 36 yards he only gave up, but he had a couple crucial plays at the end of that game that really kind of messed us up, where we lost a football game. So, he's rookie mistakes. You got to expect that from a rookie. But other than that, Jordan Davis is always going to be your run stopper, always command a double team just from his size. He needs to play a little bit better. The three Georgia Bulldog guys are my concern. The three Georgia Bulldog guys need to really start, get better, game by game and start getting better throughout the season because we put a lot on these guys. They're all three first-round draft picks. They're coming from a winning organization. It should be playing, I feel, at a higher level than what they are. You hear all their noise throughout the preseason. Oh, yeah, we got in better shape. We're ready to roll. And then now you see the first two games, and we don't have no sacks. I think the only one that got a sack is Milton Williams on that D line. I think we only got 3 total, and 2 was in the first week with our linebacker, our new project linebacker. So I want to see these guys, be a little bit more hungry, bring a little bit more pressure because we need it. Without the pressure up the front line, we're never going to be able to stop. The cornerbacks aren't going to be able to stay there with all these receivers for like 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. You know what I'm saying? You give a professional receiver 4 seconds, he's going to get open. You know what I'm saying? If you got a comparable quarterback, he's going to get him the ball. So in terms of that D-line, I'm not, sold on them yet. I'm still in improvement mode, and I want to see these guys get better. But at the end of the day, they are top, like I said, first-round draft picks. I do expect these guys to get better as the season goes along. And we got a couple of guys, like the Milton Williams and the Bookers out there that, don't really have a name that's trying to make a name for themselves, what I'm saying? So that D-line is looking kind of, I would say average right now. I think I hope to see him get better as the season progresses. Josh Sweat needs to start picking it up. I feel when you got a Jalen Carter and a Jordan Davis in the middle of your defense, you should be able to the outside, the edge rusher should be getting home to the quarterback. If these guys are getting double teams, meaning you're only getting one-on-one, matchups on the outside, and I don't understand why they're not getting to this quarterback. We play Bryce Huff, $50 million to come over here from the Jets to, because he got double-digit sacks. But right now, it seems like everybody's missing, Hassan Reddick on that D-line, because I think through 2 games, he has a half of assisted tackle. You know what I'm saying? He don't have any stats for himself. He don't have any pressures for himself. He definitely don't have any sacks. So we need to start getting our money's worth out of him because it's not looking good right now. In terms of our linebacker core, we got, Nakobe Dean finally started, another Georgia Bulldog out there who's making tackles, but I want to see him be more distinctive in the run game. The run game is what's really gashing us right now. We need to get better in that run game. The pass game, not so much worried about, but that run game, man, I'm telling you, we got to get a lot better. Last week, the Falcons ran all over us, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Bijan Robinson looked like Bijan Robinson out there, and I was hoping he didn't. The Eagles are known for that tough defense, and usually top flight running backs don't get to go off like that, and he kind of did his thing against us. It kind of worries me because then you go back to the first game, we go against Jacobs, and he does his thing with us. So it's like, man, when is this run thing going to stop? So Van Gio's working with these boys, hoping they can, solve the problems that we got out there. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot, like I said, we got a lot of first-time players out there. And then they just got to, put the big boy pants on and get after the running back. To the credit is these first 3 games, we got 3 of the best running backs in the league, what I'm saying, that we're facing off. So it's like you can't really be like, oh, man, I can't believe these guys are doing that because they are, good running backs. Josh Jacobs led the league in rushing. Bijan Robinson, rookie, a phenomenal rookie that's, coming into year 2, which everybody takes a jump in year 2 and becomes a better running back. So, and then this week, look at Alvin Kamara, 4 touchdowns last week. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh no, I'm happy y'all did that. Y'all handled business against the Cowgirls like that. That was, I love watching that part of it. But at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, we play you guys next, and I'm going to be there. I'm going to be at the game this week. So I don't want to see none of that happen, this week at the game when I'm out there visiting New Orleans for the first time. I don't want to see none of that happen. So, other than that, like I said, the secondary is looking all right. The safety position is another position, where, Charlie Gardner-Johnson, made a huge stop last week, which was good. You know what I'm saying? Came up on that 4th down, made that huge stop, but he's also leading the league in missed tackles. Our biggest problem with the defense, I think, is the missed tackles. We can't be missing all these tackles. You guys are professional football players. You guys come with some ferocity. Supposed to be the leaders of this team, and you're missing tackles left and right. Is it out of position? A lot of them. Is it the scheme? Some of it. It's a little bit of everything right now, and I think it was always going to take some time. With a new defensive coordinator, bringing a new scheme, asking players to do new things. It was going to take some time throughout the season for us to really gel and get to where we need to get to. So, like I said, it's a week, 1 week at a time. Hopefully, we get a little bit better this week, and then moving forward, everything else works itself out.
Yeah, that's a good point on the defense, bro. But like I said, it's week 2, and customarily it takes 3 to 4 weeks for a team to kind of round out the edges, to kind of smooth out what they need to do. Being that you mentioned for yourself the preseason thing in terms of them not playing like that in the preseason, at some point they're gonna have to get the reps. They're getting in the live game action, and that's how it goes. And like I said, for the Saints, it's similar. We usually take. Last year we took a lot longer. This time here is just we have an offense that fits our personnel to the T, and those guys brought in. So we have the identity problem solved. We had identity issues of what we were for the last couple of years that kind of showed itself, but not this year. The Saints have an identity. They know who they are. They've totally grasped that identity, and they all are doing it. So it looks very good early. Like I said, I often kind of caution the great Saint think tank and the mighty Who Dat Nation is that, hey man, listen, we got we're going to face teams that are kind of trying to figure it out, and this type of thing. So we just have to remember that going forward. But yeah, a lot of talent on the defense. I was kind of puzzled on why and how, like you mentioned, Josh Jacobs, these are good running backs, and Bijan Robinson as well, piling up all that yardage on the run. So yeah, that'll be problematic, bro. And an issue. But Birdgang, in terms of the Saints, man, just throwing some game at you about the Saints. Offensively speaking, the running attack is really clicking for the black and gold. It's really doing it. 180 yards rushing in week 1, 190 yards rushing in week 2. Derek Carr is accurate. He's in control. And then the thing I really noticed about the Saints that I haven't seen in the years past was that they are having fun out there. That's a whole nother thing. They are having fun playing football, and it's happening early. My only concerns is, can we keep this up? And I think my team is focused. We're focused enough to do it. You don't want to start, hot and then burn out. You know how that goes. So we have to be able to stay focused on that.
I was going to ask you about that. Like, going into the season, is this what you expected the team to look like? Were you this high on the team coming into the season? Did you expect these guys to be playing as high of a level as it is? You look at us, last 2 seasons, we went 10-0 the first, 10 games of the season. So that was supposed to be, that's kind of like the norm for us, even though it's not normal, but it's the norm for us. We are already like, what the heck's going on? What I'm saying? Like, we are 1-1 right now. And usually we don't get a loss to week 11. You know what I'm saying? So was that your expectation for this team to come out and play as well so early in the season? Don't you guys have new coordinators too?
Yes, Clint Kubiak is our coordinator. He was the passing game coordinator for the 49ers last year. He bringing the Shanahan offense, that Kubiak style offense down here. And he's been the difference maker. Credit to Dennis Allen for bringing the man in and making the offensive change. He changed 90-something% of the offense in terms of the coaches, the offensive coaches, new offensive coordinator, new running back coach, new QB coach, new offensive line coach, new wide receiver coach, just a ton of new coaches, and they all fit with Clint Kubiak. So he had the autonomy to be able to hire the guys that he was comfortable with, and we're seeing the fruit. But my expectations was I thought the Saints would take 3 to 4 weeks. I knew they would be successful because I knew when I seen what they were doing that where he came from, he had Christian McCaffrey and all those guys out there, and we do have the very unique talent to run that type of system. And that's what one of the things Clint said when he first got here. Is the reporter asked him, why did you decide to come here? And he said, because of the players. So he knows when you see Alvin Kamara, that Alvin Kamara can do anything that Christian McCaffrey can do. No disrespect to Christian McCaffrey, but Alvin Kamara and those guys are very unique backs that can do that. It just so happens we have all these other guys. I call them mismatch nightmares, MMNs, mismatch nightmares, several of them across the line. And Clint Kubiak's very imaginative. He knows how to move those guys around at different spots to make it difficult, to make defenses stink, slow react, and then take advantage of them. So we've seen that they've bought into it. But the key point was having to run the football. That was the thing, setting up the run so we can get into that bag. So that's one of the things I see. If we establish the run and get into the play action bag, I knew we would be able to win some games. I was saying that. So, I mean, we're seeing it.
Nice, nice. Yeah. Yeah, because everybody, casts their favorites going into season. I'm pretty sure not too many people had, everybody, the people that are, 2-0 right now as being the leaders of the NFL going in through week 2 weeks in the season, with our team being 1-1, the Chiefs being 1-1, the Ravens not even winning a football game yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure a lot of people had us. I had a lot of people looking a little bit better than what they are right now. But like the Saints, what I'm saying, I was looking for this game. Like, okay, it's gonna be a nice game. When we play you guys, it's always a good game. We had some really nice heartbreakers against you guys. I can think of a couple last minute field goals type games against you guys where it was like, oh man, I think one of them was even like a 60-yarder one year. We're like, no way he's gonna make that, and he made it. And I think no, so. You guys are a good team. You guys are up and coming. For me, with you guys, it's like Derek Carr. Derek Carr is playing some really high football right now. When he's playing high level football, it's really hard to stop him, especially when you got to run and tag. The key to us is going to have to go out there and stop him often and early. You know what I'm saying? If we can do that and then we got to get to him. If we do what we did with what's his name again, Kirk Cousins, where he had open pockets every single down. He was never attacking, never feeling any pressure. He was supposed to be on a bum leg. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he sat back there like he was a statue. Just who do I need to throw the ball to? You. We cannot do that with a Derek Carr because he actually is mobile. You put a little pressure to him, you leave him a crease, he can run, a good 10, 15 yards without getting touched. You know what I'm saying? So he's got some athleticism to him. So I really think that, like you guys are, over exceeding expectations as of right now from my aspect. But at the end of the day, all the teams in the NFL, like the big teams, like your team, our team, the Chiefs, it's any given Sunday with these guys. And as long as they come out there and, turn their light switch on, things can happen. So it's going to be an interesting matchup for sure.
Yeah, the historic matchups between Philly and the Saints is controlled by Philly 16-19. That's going all the way back. 16-19. Philly has the overall lead, but out of the last 10 contests, the Saints are 6-4. So the thing is, to me, and then of course I want you to give your keys. You gave some of them right there to victory and who got to do what they need to do to kind of sink in on the game. I think keys to victory from the Who Dat Nation standpoint, it all revolves around two people to me. And one of the biggest ones is, of course, Jalen Hurts. The Saints have not beaten Jalen Hurts as a quarterback since he's the
guy. I think that one last one was against Gardner Minshew.
That's right. We have not beat Jalen Hurts when he's starting quarterback for them. We did beat him with Gardner, like you mentioned, but that was a total different looking team without Jalen in there. But yeah, we have not beat him because he speaks to one of our perceived Achilles heels, which is a mobile QB threat. When the Saints have had issues with that over the last several years, but this year, Dennis Allen, astute enough, made a couple of moves to try to wipe out that disadvantage. Chase Young is a guy he added next to, to pair with Carl Granderson, who's ramping up, who's a lot of people don't know. I call Carl Granderson the NFL's best kept secret. He's phenomenal. And then, of course, there's Willie Gay, the former linebacker from the Kansas City Chiefs. He's here in Dennis Allen's defense. He was brought in for the speed component to play next to Demario Davis. And our other linebacker, Pete Werner, who's having a phenomenal start to his season, to be honest with you as well. But yeah, with those guys, those two incredibly quick guys, especially Willie, is a guy that the Saints brought in. And it's also the second thing, of course, in terms of the Achilles was the tight end, the mobile QB threat tight end. And Willie helps with him as well. So we have two issues that we perceive that we bring players in to kind of wipe out those problems. And like I said, that Jalen's the first. We cannot allow Jalen Hurts to get outside of that pocket and create an ad lib. That can't happen. We can't allow him to extend plays. We cannot allow him to take the hell off. We got to spy him. We got to send somebody in there to knock him around. We got to do what we got to do because he's special. And like I said, if you could slow Jalen down, I don't know about stopping him, but if you could slow him down, that impacts the Philly offense greatly, in my opinion. And then the second thing is Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, who did you guys play the first week of the season?
Who did we play the first week? Carolina.
Yeah. So this is going to be the best running back you guys go against.
Yeah.
As the season start, you went from Carolina, who they got over there, Hubert,
Chupa Hubbard.
Yeah, and then you got Zeke coming out of retirement, basically. He's not retired, but you know what I'm saying. Like he's not.
Yeah, he's over the hill, Birdgang. Yeah, bro, he's over the hill. He's not what he used to be, and we seen that in the game, man. That 3-headed combo they were doing it wasn't what was up. But you're right. You're absolutely right. Facing Saquon Barkley is the best running back we faced so far, and we got to treat it as such because Barkley's a beast, man. Especially running behind that line and has Jalen Hurd and all those weapons with him. So yeah, that's absolutely right, bro.
Yeah, man. Like I said, he should be the key. As much as we like to talk about Jalen, AJ, Smitty, Goddard, these type cats, that have already been proven in our offense. I think, no slight to Booby, no slight to Swift, but Saquon is that dude. You know what I'm saying? He played on a horrible Giants football team for years and still was able to put up, big numbers. You look at him in the first week of the season, came out 3 touchdowns in his debut. He didn't score a touchdown last week, but he should have scored a couple of times, but he still made an impact on the ground. Like you said, with our offensive line, he's even on his bad runs, with the Giants, his bad runs were negative plays. With the Eagles, with this offensive line, his bad runs are still 5-6 yard runs, Like he's getting up there. So, I do look for him to be the focal point of this offense if our coordinators are smart and do what they need to do. They'll focus on getting him the ball as much as possible. And we turn our team more into a run first team, then let's just carve them up after you bring that 8th man into the box with AJ, Goddard, and Smitty. I'm still waiting to see that, transpire fully, in a football game. But at the end of the day, with our team, I feel like whenever it seems like he's running hot, the next thing you know, tap out, Gainwell's in. He runs us to the red zone, then Gainwell's in. It's like, no, keep Gainwell on the sideline. If he needs a breather, give him 2 plays and get him back in that football game. Give him the rock, especially in the red zone. This is one of the strongest backs in the league. The dude squats over 600 pounds. Forget the push tush, forget all that cute stuff that we were doing before, and give Saquon the football and let him do his thing. That's how I feel about it. So like I said, I look for him. He can be Offensive Player of the Year. He can be MVP this year if he gets his mind right. And anytime he handles his business, and our coaching staff don't get too happy and looking like, oh, I just paid AJ, I just paid Smitty, I just paid Jalen Hurts. We gotta feature these guys. I feel like that's what kind of mode we're in on offense. We gotta feature these guys. No, you got freaking Saquon Barkley right now. You use him, run him till the wheels fall off, and then nothing but good things can happen from that.
Yeah, that would be my philosophy, man. To if Barkley's healthy, man, and he's a force, man. Especially, and then the combination of Barkley and the possible scrambling ability of Jalen Hurts together, man. That's a tandem that'll, if those guys are successful, that'll put you guys, your rushing attack, at the top of the league, in the top 5, man. Between those 2 dudes running out and doing their thing, but yeah,
defense can respond to this RPO system that we will be running against you guys. Do you think your D-line, your linebackers, since like I said, he will be the best back, but you also add in the Jalen Hurts. He just had a game where he had 90 yards. We ain't seen that, in at least 10 games, where he's actually effectively running the football. Do you think you have the linebackers in the front 7 that's going to be able to hold up against these guys, because it's going to be hard. I think it's hard. For me, I don't understand how teams are even able to stop this offense for real. And that's just not just me being biased. It's just like, you got to worry about Jalen Hurts running the ball. You got to worry about Jalen passing the ball. But then you got this dynamic running back in Saquon. It's like, who's going to get the ball? Who's going to keep the ball on this place? So how do you really feel about that matchup in terms of this game?
Well, I mean, it's a challenge that I think the Saints defense is up to face. Demario Davis is a guy that's he's an older guy, but Demario Davis is still impactful. He's the brains and outfit of that Saints defense. Pete Werner, who got his cake this year, the Saints extended him. He's been kicking ass, man. So even though they know, I think they kind of put Pete Werner on notice when they brought Willie Gay in here and say, hey, man, do it. And credit to Pete Werner, he elevated his football play. So, I was thinking about that on the previous show. I was like, man, I got to give Pete Werner a shout out, man, because Pete Werner is playing his ass off out there. So it's just not just that those guys are incredibly intelligent. Demario Davis, Pete Werner, and then the athletic ability and intelligence as well as Willie Gay. So I think the Saints defense are fast, and I don't need fast and athletic and experience, but I think those guys have seen a lot, and I think they're up for the challenge. And coming into the season, a lot of people considered the Saints a top 10 defense, a top 10 defense in the NFL. A lot of people, including myself, believe that the Saints secondary, which got Will Harris, he came in here and he started next to Tyrann Mathieu. We're getting Marshawn Lattimore back. He should play in the game. We brought in Kool-Aid McKinstry.
I wanted Kool-Aid, man. He got drafted one pick before. I think it was before what's his name? Cooper DeJean, I think it was. And I was like, Kool-Aid, come on, Kool-Aid. Being in Alabama, man. I watched a lot of Kool-Aid out there. He was one of the guys that definitely wanted the Eagles to draft. We ended up getting, Quignon and DeJean, but it's like Kool-Aid was definitely one of those guys. I got some people that really cool with Kool-Aid, and it's just like, man, it's been so awesome to see him in that midnight green. What I'm saying, playing some football.
Oh yeah. Well, he been doing really good for us, bro. Lattimore had some issues, and Kool-Aid stepped in there, man, and he was one of the top tacklers we had. He was in the top 3, I don't want to say, in tackle. So he's a natural, man. So the Saints are in good position in terms of the secondary. So I just love how all 3 levels of the Saints defense, the addition of Chase Young, all of the depth that we have in terms of the defense, and the Saints are doing this, and we still down a starter inside of the defensive line with Big Bink Saunders. So we missing him on the inside, and the Saints are still handling business. So I think they're definitely up for the challenge. That's the great trench warfare, bro. So yeah, I think they're looking to see with Philly after seeing Carolina and seeing Dallas. I think the Saints defense is ready for somebody to challenge them. And Philadelphia, with everything they have, minus AJ, I know AJ's out, but I think they're ready for the challenge.
Yeah. Another one into Honey Badger, and we definitely wanted him when he was a free agent to come sign. I didn't want him to go back home to New Orleans. I wanted him to come sign with Philadelphia Eagles too as well. But we didn't get either one of those guys. Like I said, I like CJ GJ. I just think he needs to clean up some of that tackling. But it's gonna be a good matchup. Like the guys got that great secondary, and it's gonna be a real challenge for our receivers, especially the young ones. To come make a name for yourself. Like I say on my show, like, Dotson, this is your time to shine, my guy. Like, what I'm saying? Yeah. I know we got you late, but, you ain't really played. You played, but you ain't had no activities in the first 2 games of the season. And we gave him a 3rd-round pick for this guy. So I want to start seeing him being featured in this offense because, like I said, the more people we can get, featured in this offense, the more dangerous we'll be down the road. So, the more we get to go against, I feel like our offense goes against, iron sharper iron. We got one of the best offensive skill on paper. We got one of the best defensive skills on paper. And these guys should be sharpening each other up each week. And I would like to see him break out, because I think last week we featured Brenton Covey, and I wasn't too happy about that. I'm saying? How the hell Brenton get 6 catches, even though he only went 32 yards off the 6 catches? It's like, how the hell you going to throw the ball to him 6 times and I get the boy to my boy Dotson, that you done gave the 3rd-round draft pick to. So, it's going to be real interesting to see if Kellen Moore can get this is another guy we're talking about, Kellen Moore. This guy come from Dallas, San Diego. There's mixed emotions about him. I do know when he's with Dallas, it was a top 3 offense, in the league, 2 of those years. And then San Diego Chargers, you can't really judge him on that because, all their star players were hurt last year, So it's like, how can you really produce when you don't have any of your star players? So Kellen Moore's, like I said, I love the motion that we're doing this year compared to before. We were like ranked last in motioning. I'm like, how the hell is all these other, teams motioning? We don't ever motion in football, so I do like that aspect. But I don't like the fact is I'm not seeing enough people get schemed open. You know what I'm saying? Like we can scheme open AJ, but I don't feel like we're scheming open. We're not scheme open AJ. We're not scheme open, Smitty. Those are just Pro Bowl caliber receivers that doing the damn thing. Not very many people can stop these guys one-on-one anyway. So I don't feel like that's something that we scheme and it's just, Jalen Cat's trusting these guys. He's, giving them the ball. Some of these balls, Smitty and these guys, they're not even, some of them are double teamed, and he's still getting the ball to them. And that's, that goes to the testament of how good these players are. And I want to see Kellen Moore, come out and actually scheme the rest of these guys in. Like Dallas Goedert, he has 2 catches or something like that in the first 2 games. Like, how are you going to go with one of the best tight ends in the game, that we used heavily in years previous, and now he only gets like a catch or 2, what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying about Jalen Hurts. I feel like Jalen Hurts hasn't really came back yet, from that Super Bowl year. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't really fully, like I said, last year I feel like he was hurt the whole year. This year I feel like he's not as confident in terms of the passing in terms of spreading it out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? He's still trying to figure out a Jahan Dotson. He's still trying to figure out, Paris Campbell. He's still trying to figure out, I guess Brendan Covey. That's who they're trying to feature in their offense. Like I don't think that's a good idea, but he's still trying to figure out these rest of these guys out to the point where I think he needs to start really. We need to really figure out how to scheme, because you see backup quarterbacks in certain teams and backup receivers get schemed open. For instance, the Falcons we just played, they got the 3rd string, receiver making plays on us. What's his name? McLeod. What I'm saying? He's out there balling now. Then you got, London out there doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? You got Mooney out there getting ball thrown to him. Like a good coordinator can scheme all his players open. You know what I'm saying? They can't get stuck. You can't get stuck on the paycheck. You know what I'm saying? You can't get stuck on the star power. You got to get stuck on who's open, who can scheme open, what is the best matchup. If you got a good cornerback like a Kool-Aid, a Lattimore or something like that, you got to know that these star players, especially without an A.J. Brown, is about to be pretty much locked up. And I pretty much guarantee after Smitty won Offensive Player of the Week, you know what I'm saying, with 10 catches last week or something like that, over 100-something yards, you're going to probably roll some coverage over him too this year, this week. So now can you scheme open, the Jahan Dotson? Can you scheme open the Dallas Goedert? Can Jalen Hurts find these guys and we can make moves, the right way besides, because no matter what, like I said, those guys are going to eat regardless, but to become a dangerous football team, you got to be balanced on all levels.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, bro. It's the fact that the Saints are getting out early and putting pressure on the offenses to keep up, and that's a big contingent as well that some of the rival teams have to deal with. The Saints are scoring at such a rapid rate. It's forcing people to adjust the playbooks because they have to abandon a lot of the running attack and become one-dimensional. So we've seen that happen in the first 2 weeks. But like I said, Philly is a total different beast altogether with all the talent, despite A.J. Brown being there. This team is still much a very talented team, and when playing their best football, they're a team that's capable of going deep into the playoffs. So, hey, man, we got this is a good test for us in the Dome, man. We looking forward to it. So, Grand Oz to you says, question 3-player position matchups that you may be watching closely.
That's what I was about to ask you too. That's crazy, Grand. I love Grand, man. He always got the questions. You got the questions.
Go ahead, bro.
I'll let you answer it first.
Well, 3-player position matchups you may be watching closely. Player matchups, player and position matchups. My mind is on Jalen Hurts, man. that's to me.
If we stop Jalen, we're good. We stop Jalen, we're good.
Yeah, and it's him, bro. I'm watching him.
But wasn't Jalen always with you guys too? It's not that he Jalen's winning with you guys. It's not that he's throwing for 300 yards or even it's a pretty balanced attack. You know, I think the first time it was like he threw for 100 or something, but he also ran for 100 or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think most of the time it's that balanced attack at where you guys, because you guys do produce a lot of pressure up front. And with a guy like Jalen, when you produce a pressure, you don't get home, he will take off on you. And I think that's where he's been hurting you guys the most in the match. I think we got 2 matchups. He got 2 matchups against you guys where he's 2-0 with you guys. So I think in terms of you guys stopping us, that's definitely the spot. You guys got to be disciplined on that front 7, making sure that, yeah, you guys get pressure on them, but you're not leaving those windows open for him to
That's right.
do his thing.
Yeah, you got to be disciplined, man, with the pass rush. You can't be sloppy with it because he will see it and he will take off. There is no hesitation in this guy. If he see, he will pull that ball down. If he's looking to throw and he sees that, since that opening there, he's taking the hell off. So, I mean, you can't allow that. And you're right. He's not having, these huge games, but it's just he gets the play to inopportune times, and it's like a gut punch for the defense that'll get them, pin them down, make some plays, and then Jalen would then take off and pick up the first down. And it's like, damn, man, we had him. We had him
right
in 13, and he ran and picked up the 13 yards, that kind of stuff that he's good at. So my mind is looking at the Saints defense. I don't know if you stopped Jalen Hurt. You got to slow him down. He's the engine, in my opinion. And the second thing to me is, I know Smitty's good. I think our secondary will be all right there. Goddard, I think, will be all right. No disrespect, but I think Barkley is the next thing. Barkley, we have to stop that, man. We got to one-dimensionalize them and then contain Hurt. That's what I'm looking at in terms of offensively speaking. And then on the defensive side of things, we talk about, you mentioned some of your defensive players and the protection of Derek Carr. I don't think the Saints offense is, in my opinion, is just going to keep doing what they've been doing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're going to keep operating and running the football the same way they did in the first two matchups. They're going to add a few wrinkles here with Clint Kubiak there. They're going to test that Philly defense stage. They're going to run on them up the middle. Taysom was limited in practice, so he should be available. So the Saints are going to hit Philly's defense and test them just like they did Dallas's defense, and see if they can deal with, from an intelligence standpoint, reading how the Saints have all these pre-snap motions and misdirection plays, which ultimately serve to make your defense think more than what they're supposed to. And while they're thinking, we already are in motion and we taking advantage of it. It's to slow them down and have them confused. That's what that all about. And plus, it tips you. If you're not disciplined enough, it also tips you. Shows Derek Carr what you got going on, so he can then adjust on your ass. So, I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on, but that I'm not concerned about our tackles as much. No disrespect to the ends, because I think that the onus will be for the Saints to run the ball to their advantage, so our young defensive tackles advantage, because they're really good at that run situation and setting up the play action. So that's how I kind of see the game, and that's why I want to see, if being that we have more of a balanced team in you guys, and how the Saints will deal with that. But what's your perspective, Birdgang 31, on your 3-player position matchups, bro?
My 3-player or position match, like I said, it starts up front. Our offensive line versus your defensive line. You guys got a good one, but I feel like I said, we have one of the best. You know what I'm saying? So, especially after a game like that, I'm looking for a bounce back week. We had 3 penalties on RPO plays, which it brings it back to the first year Jalen started, where it's just like we're running these RPOs, but they don't really got it down right, the timing right, to the point where we're getting these flash calls. Some games, like Jalen said, some games are getting called more than the other. But I want these guys to go out there, and oppose their will against you guys. Like I said, we have the biggest offensive line in football. You're going back to like the Dallas Cowboys when they were winning the championship, the Leon Letts, the Larry Allens, those type of cats. You know what I'm saying? These guys are monsters up there. There should be no reason why, if we go with the run game first, we shouldn't be able to, oppose our will with you guys. No disrespect to you guys, but it's not just you guys, it's the whole league. You know what I'm saying? I don't see too many defensive lines that should be able to stop these boys, So I'm looking at that matchup first, your D-line versus our O-line. That's really going to tell a lot, in terms of how this game plays out. Secondly would be Saquon Barkley and his, running, kind of piggybacking on the offensive line. Saquon Barkley, your linebacker matchup, linebackers versus Saquon. Will you be able to stop Saquon? I know he's feeling bad for dropping that pass. He took all the onus on him in the football game for us. So he's going to come out motivated, this game to really, correct the wrong, so to speak. I'm saying? Go out there and show that he is an elite running back. He is what he was in week 1, and he's going to get better throughout the season. So linebacker stopping Saquon Barkley. The receivers, you guys got a talented secondary. Now, are you guys going to shut us all down? Are you double teaming Smitty and the rest of these boys not going to live up to expectations, and our passing game is going to be trash? You know what I'm saying? I'm really worried about that matchup, because like you said, you got the Honey Badger back there, you got Kool-Aid back there, you got, Lattimore, you said it's gonna be back. That's hard for any receiver group to really go against, and do any work against. So, you're looking at that like, oh man, like these guys, are you gonna get open? Because you ain't showed me nothing besides AJ Smith. You haven't known any of the other receivers to show me anything in the first 2 weeks of the season. So then it's like, I know we need this game as a bounce back game, but can you guys live up to expectation? Basically, is what it is. And then if you want to, I throw out the defense. The opposite side there is our secondary. And our defensive line is like, can the defensive line put any pressure on David Carr? We talked about this earlier. I want to see Jalen Carter break out. You know what I'm saying? How are you going to be considered the next Aaron Donald and not have a sack at all, not put any pressure on the quarterback at all? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really that guy, this is a game you need to show that you're that guy. You don't show me 2 weeks, you're not. You know what I'm saying? This is a game you need to go back there. You need to handle business and get to the quarterback. No one sack games from our front four. I want to see multiple sacks this game if that's what you're going to do. And that's who you guys really are. You need to come out, show up, and show out. I know the offensive line is good, but if you look at the Falcons, offensive line, they're one of the better offensive lines in the league right now. They're looking pretty good out there. And then the Green Bay don't have that bad of an offensive line either. So it's like, I'm not pretty sure. I don't know exactly where you rank the Saints offensive line. But right now, this is the time to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, show that you're just contender team. Because right now, people are questioning, are you even contenders? And it's too early in the season to go from Super Bowl contenders, should be in the NFC Championship, to now week 2. You're like, are you guys? A lot of people would say that we're not contenders no more. So it starts up front, offense and defensive line. And I want to see that defensive line, come up and progress.
I know a lot of Philly supporters, man, are very rabid, man. I've seen a lot of the guys. I've seen them be, really tough on, and we tough on our guys. I can respect what Philly got going on because it's a high standard. It's a high standard of winning. You come here and you're going to be the coach. You got to handle your business, and we're not playing. And I respect the hell out of that. That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I see some guys kind of look at the offensive coordinator. They kind of don't like his play calling. They don't think, but still in all, like I said, this is just this is week number 3. It's a lot of games left to be played in the league. So, I mean, it's good to start off, winning some games and figuring some stuff out, but it's still a lot of time left in the season. Yeah. So yeah, that's something.
I went off and I did a live stream and I was going ham on those boys at the last game. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you get emotional. You've been waiting for so long for football to come back. You know what I'm saying? When your team, like for me, it was just like, I feel like last year again. You know what I'm saying? But the difference is at least we were winning the first 10 games last year.
Right.
And now we already got a loss, but it's still the same type of play. I feel like a lot of these guys are living off that Super Bowl run too much. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we're this team. We're expected to do this. We're expected to do that. The NFL is what have you done for me lately type stuff.
That's right.
And right now, y'all ain't done nothing. And I'm a fan. And I'm a huge fan. But y'all ain't done nothing to show me that y'all want to win the Super Bowl this year. And I'm not willing to lose hope early. At the end of the day, like, if y'all don't show me something, you know what I'm saying, what else is there a fan to do but to question you, but to doubt you, but to, and you can't be, these players can't be so much and caught up with what the media is saying about them. They need to just strap it up and go play football. You know what I'm saying? Forget what anybody's saying about you. Forget trying to be Superman out there. Do your damn job. Excuse me for saying that, but do your damn job and let the rest sort itself out. Everybody's trying to make a play. Everybody's trying to be the star that everybody wants them to be. Stop all that. Sit back, do the fundamental stuff, and the good things start happening for you.
All right. Let me ask you this, my brother. What's your scoring prediction? If you do those scoring prediction, what is your final outcome for the game? How do you think it ends?
Saints, man, this game is usually a close game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, after what y'all did to the Cowgirls too last week, man, that had me scared. A little bit. I was like, what? You scored 44. Y'all the scoring is free over there in New Orleans, man. Like, and it's so funny. I was just talking about when I bought my tickets, right? I was gonna go to the home opener, right? And thank God I didn't go because I would have been so pissed, But I was like, the Saints, that should be a good matchup, it'd be good. But seeing you guys play the first 2 weeks had me a little nervous. I do think though, that being said, like that was a wake up call for the Eagles. I think we come back and we get back to business like we need to. You look at the first 2 games as your preseason games, and now you should be, starting to work on your midseason, not midseason, but start working on some form there and start looking more presentable what you're really supposed to be for the season, especially going against a quality opponent like you guys. I don't think either team gets to the 40s like you guys been doing. I don't think it's going to be that type of game. I don't think it's going to be a shootout to a 45-42 type game. You know what I'm saying? I think teams are going to come play. You guys got trying to keep the momentum going, and we're trying to start some momentum. So I think that's going to be a hard-fought football game. So I see it. If I had to give a score prediction right now, I'm looking at more like a 24-17 type game.
24-17.
24-17. Of course I'm gonna say the Birds gonna win. You know what I'm saying? But 24-17, Birds, you know what I'm saying? A hard fought football game that's gonna be, everything the fans want for sure.
Yeah, I thought looking at it, man, it's going to be very interesting. I think.
Excuse me, yes, sir. We can't get 40. No, y'all not getting 40 on us. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. Birdgang's gonna be in the building, and whenever I'm in the building with my football team, good things happen. So y'all not getting 40. Even if y'all win, it's not gonna be no. We ain't the Cowgirls now. Okay, let's just keep that. Keep that simple. We're not the Cowgirls. This is a whole nother football team. And like I said, even if y'all win, you're not getting 40 on that. I'll put that out there right now. We ain't gonna be disrespecting nobody right now. We ain't gonna be disrespecting nobody. So there ain't gonna be no 40 burgers on the Eagles defense. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't happening. That ain't happening.
Hey, bro, we had a last week we had a Dallas Cowboys podcaster that came on, man. And his stream, he was saying that the Cowboys were going to 40 burger the Saints. His reaction when the Saints destroyed them was priceless. So shout out to the Cowboy fan.
I'm not coming out here saying either we're going to 40 burger you guys. You know what I'm saying? We still got some questions on offense, but I do feel like if the proper adjustments are made on this offense, we can really tune to. Like I said, I don't feel like there's a defense out there that can stop our offense when it's clicking on all cylinders. It's too many skill position players that you got to account for, and usually a defense is good at stopping the run or stopping the pass, one or the other. But with our offense, if it's clicking on all cylinders, no defense will stop both at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So it all matters to coaches if they got their scheme right, if they got their game plan right, and if the players go out there and live up to expectations. You know what I'm saying? If we do that, then like I said, like I didn't feel like we could have got beat by anybody. If you heard me preseason, I'm like, hey, 17-0 till proven otherwise. I gave us a 14-3 record overall. I knew there was going to be a lot, obviously losses here and there, but which teams? Did I think the Falcons were going to be the team that beat us? No. Did I think, Green Bay was going to be the team that beat us? Yeah. I mean, a team that beat us. I thought that could have been a team that beat us, and we beat them. And then the team I thought we could totally dominate and do our thing with, they came out and, we fell short with. So it's going to be a good game, man. But like I said, I don't see no 40 burgers going for either side.
Yeah, well, the week 2 matchup, that was definitely y'all game, man. They were running the ball well, but they still look pretty rusty too. But yeah, in my score prediction, I think it'll be in the 30s. I don't know about a 40 game, but then again, it's this offense, man. It's the way that is the energy that they're operating on is unbelievable. When you study the all 22 for the Saints, it's not just the guys you have to focus on. And I told this to the brother last week when we previewed the Saints and the Cowboys. I told him, man, I said, Derek Carr is the least of your worries. Derek Carr is going to do what he does. He loves this offense, and it's not just him. It's all of them are playing higher football. They playing an inspired, excellent, competent, very special brand of football. And it's not, and a lot of people outside see it, oh, they just grooving right now. They start. No, it's different. And like I've been watching, I've been, black and gold man for a very long time. Type of, the energy, how they operate in this system is just like a tailored suit. I use the term tailored suit. You put the tape on. The guys that's making plays is the guys that you expect to make plays, but the secondary guys are doing it all. They're setting it all up. You see our tight ends, Foster Monroe, Jawan Johnson catching touchdowns, making blocks. Our offensive line is in sync, doing their thing. Tali Fuaga, our starting left tackle, rookie, had a back issue and it was kind of a brief thought that he wasn't going to play. He went in there and dominated. Trevor Penning was matching up against their guys, and many of the times I seen him against DeMarcus Lawrence, he was dominating DeMarcus Lawrence. It was times when I seen Penning take Lawrence and throw him to the ground. He was dominating him. So, like I said, it's the scheme they've all bought in, and the confidence is really high. And it's not a cocky confidence. It's like, man, listen, we're focused. We know we've been underachieving for the last 3 years, and we're not listening to the hype. We just love playing football, and that's what they're doing. And just the offense, and then the defense is operating off of that, because the defense is taking its time. They're fully rested. They're not on the field overused. And the Saints are playing through their best players. They're playing through the running attack, and that's the game plan. You have to run. The Saints are running the ball exceptionally well, and they're not using one dude to do it. Birdgang, they're using several guys to run the football. They're hitting you with basically, like I looked at the tape, they're using the same plays. It looked like different plays if you're not paying attention to what they're doing, but they're using basically the same plays, but switching the personnel up. Like they'll hit you with Elvin with the same play. Several plays later, they hit you with Rashid Shaheed with the same play to the opposite side. Then several plays that they hit you with Taysom. It's tough for defenses to gauge those guys when Elvin has a special degree of elusive ability and speed and what he does, and then you put Taysom in there, and then you put Rashid in there, and then Jamal Williams gets in there. So it's just a difficult thing to stop. So if, that to me would be what Philly has to do to make the Saints look normal. They will have to stop them from getting all those guys involved and account for the fact that you have to be able to know what they're going to do pre-snap with all of the motions going on, and they shifting here and there, because the Carolina is offensively, they struggle, but the defense, Carolina's defense was the best part of their team last year. And they have really good players. With Derrick Brown got hurt, but they have really Shaq Thompson. Those guys are very good. Dallas had guys that were supposed to be able to move, Overshown and Parsons and all these guys, and Kendricks, and they were totally, discombobulated. They didn't know what the hell was going on. And, I don't think they ever figured it out. So that'll be the challenge for Philly's defense. If they can solve the conundrum, which is where are the Saints going with the ball and who's getting the ball, and also knowing what they're doing, you have to be able to be there to stop them. And like I said, man, the way this system is, man, they are looking incredible.
You see, you're right. You're right about that. Like, it really don't matter the team, and that's why I keep telling Eagles fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we were playing the best football, think back to that Super Bowl run. Everybody on a team was having fun. It's a game of fun. When you're trying to play football, you're not playing at a high level. I remember, because I played semi-pro ball too. And I remember after my second knee surgery, man, I was trying to be back, that running back. And as much as I was trying, it just wasn't happening. It took me to, fall back to realize I'm playing a sport I love. You know what I'm saying? I want to go back to, playing in the street with my buddies down in LA, where we just played on tackle in the street, and just realize that we're playing a sport, a game, You know what I'm saying? You got to keep it where it's at. No matter how much you're getting paid, no matter how much pressure you think there is, if you can go out there and just have fun playing the game you love, that's when you see the best thing happen. You don't need to, 20 all-stars on your team. You don't need, this top flight coaching staff or nothing. If you're out there having fun, good things will always happen. And I do see that you guys are playing at that, and I'm waiting for our team to get back to that. Having fun, man. Touchdown celebrations, just like enjoying each other's time and building off each other, positivity and what. Once a good play happened on offense, you see the defensive players cheering on the sidelines and vice versa. Defense making a play, the offense are excited. You know what I'm saying? That's when you got a team in full sync, and that's when your team can really do some dangerous things. You can beat anybody in the world when your team's having fun out there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a game to have fun. It's one of the best sports ever, and you should be blessed to even be playing it no matter what level you're on. So, yeah, I agree with that. I wanted to ask you, too, playing devil's advocate, though. Playing devil's advocate, what would Philly have to do, to really, do some work against you guys? Like, what do you think is your biggest weaknesses in terms of being a Saints content, a Saints fan?
Bro, the Saints' biggest weakness right now, man, is, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I look at this team all around. There were questions going into the season about the offensive line, the right tackle Penning and left guard Lucas Patrick, who, he was kind of a guy they brought in here to be basically a depth piece, but he ended up getting the starting job because another guy, Nick Saldiveri, who's a draft pick we had a couple of seasons ago, wasn't able to stay healthy because of a calf issue. He missed a lot of time in preseason and training camp. So Lucas took the job, credit to him. But, I seen a few players that had question marks, but all of that appears to have significantly dissolved because the way the system is in place, these guys have bought in. And Clint Kubiak is using these guys in the right way. He has taught them the game in a way where they look exceptionally better than in previous years. There is no doubt. There is no discontinue or breakup or disharmony here. The majority of the plays, they're flowing. That's what I was saying. It's a very unique situation to witness because the Saints they're not exhibiting any issues. They're not. The first week they had 10 penalties in the game where we just blew out Carolina. Birdgang, the second game, Dennis Allen, in the press conference at the end of the, he was in the post-game thing in the locker room. He kind of asked the team, what was our biggest issue? They said penalties. They had 10 penalties in the Carolina. The second game, they had 5 penalties. They cut the penalties in half. They don't make a lot of miscues. The false starts and all that, they're not doing all of that. And it's just the intelligence of the Saints overall, the fact that they're buying in, they're having fun, the work is paying off now and then of course it's Clint Kubiak. He's found the perfect thing. So I don't see very many issues like from the Saints. I really, if I go over it,
I think that's perfect. You have no chance, Birdgang. I just brought you on here to let you know that you have no chance.
No, bro.
We ain't got no weaknesses.
No. Over there. If I look at it like this, in terms of physical, what I see physically, no. But there could be an issue if the Saints are not mentally ready to prepare or play this game. They come into the game and they are buying some of the hype, and then they don't play up to their level, or they commit a lot of miscues and issues because that's still a part of the game because it still takes work. And that's one of the things Dennis Allen was saying, like, man, we the first couple of weeks have been good, but we have to look at the tape and clean up the issues because they did have issues out there as well as they look. There were times when Dallas or Carolina was able to gain penetration and stop a play or, read a certain thing. Or the Saints would miss a tackle, the CD Lamb run where the only touchdown they had when they tried to tackle him, he ducked up under him and he ran all the way that was the only offensive score they had in the game. but that was because Tyrod Matthew and Paulson Adebo missed the tackle that's broke him free. So I mean, we as a team, bro, have to be there mentally too to be able to compete with you guys, because it's any given Sunday, bro. Regardless of what I've seen over the last couple of weeks, that still has to transfer into week number 3. You know, that's the bottom line. Every game is different. Every opponent is different. And we have to bring that mentality and mindset there. But based on the 2 prior weeks, they're not exhibiting too many issues, you know. But everybody, you got a chance. We got a chance. That's what I'm saying. That's why we play the games. It's all about who's ready to play. It's going to win the game. That's the bottom line.
And what was your record prediction for the Saints this year?
What you mean, bro? What you say in terms of wins, losses?
Yeah.
Rich, and then a lot, and prior to this, and this all prior to them even much doing this, actually playing the games, a lot of the family members thought we weren't going to really go anywhere. But when Clint Kubiak came, I was saying we'll win. We run the ball and do what we're supposed to do to get in the play action bag, because I know that to get the most out of Derek Carr, you got to run the ball and get Carr into play action Carr. That's what I was coined him, play action Carr, because that you get the best out of him in that mode. He loves doing the play action. He's a phenomenal play action quarterback. You get him in that role, you're going to see a lot of positive things happen. But I was looking at 10 to 11 games I was saying the NFC South crown, and 10 to 11 wins this year with the Saints. That's what I said prior to all this happening. So that's why I'm at.
We got the South this year, but the South looking good. South looking good this year.
Right, and that's the part too, bro. A lot of teams you still got to look at Tampa Bay. I'm just warning people. I know we got Atlanta after you guys, and we have to walk week by week. But Tampa Bay, behind the Kansas City game, we got to watch out for Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has won the NFC South 3 years in a row. Baker Mayfield looks really good early on. They're not playing with any pressure because everybody's saying Atlanta's going to win it and all this kind of foolishness. But Tampa Bay is just flying along right up under the radar, having fun playing games, and you got to watch out for them too, man. We got to take care of business.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. What's your 3 hot takes for the game?
My 3 hot takes? I don't know.
Because I always tell people when I go juicy on the hot takes, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a hot take. You know what I'm saying? I think if my team's going to win, these things need to happen. You know what I'm saying? And if these things happen, it's definitely capable of happening because we got the players to do it.
Well, 3 of them. If the Saints run the football in the same manner that they've been running the football with, using Elvin, using Taysom, using Jamal, mixing in Rashid Shaheed in there, it's they're not going to lose because because that's what it's based on. If they had a 180 in week 1, 190 in week 2. Elvin Kamara is playing really pissed off because he wanted a contract and the Saints was dragging their tails, giving him the money. So he's on his contract here. So you see an extremely motivated Elvin Kamara doing this thing. Taysom Hill is an incredibly difficult combination back to mix in with Elvin Kamara. I don't think people understand when you watch the film. If I'm running and I hit you with Elvin on one play and hit you with Elvin again on another play and then bring Taysom in as a fullback, that's a whole nother thing too. It's like it's difficult to stop what they got going on because the defense has to be on they they got to be on their game to see what they got going on. And the Saints mix personnel so well, like they just resituate guys. It's like the guy called it positionless football. And that's what the Saints are really doing. That is really puzzling the hell out of these defenses. Is that they don't know what these guys are going to do. You got Taysom. Okay, Taysom's out there. He's a tight end. And then he stays at tight end. No, Taysom's going to play tight end. He's going to play fullback. He's going to play running back. And that just wrecks the diva. Like, oh, this guy's, and the same with Rashid Shaheed. They give him a ball like the running back. Next thing you know, he's out there as a wide receiver. So you're in a constant state of trying to pinpoint where these guys are because it's a living roster and these guys are floating all over the field at different areas. And as a defense and from an intelligence standpoint, you have to be aware of all of these different guys all of the damn time because all of these guys can kill you. And while you paying attention to them, the secondary weapons are catching touchdowns. Juwan Johnson, Foster Monroe, Adam Prentice, our fullback, is doing. So yeah, if they get that flowing, bro, it'll be incredibly difficult to beat the New Orleans Saints. And that's what I got. I ain't got three of them. That's just one I got right there, brother. That's what I got. What is yours, bro? What's your hot takes?
My hot takes would be like Saquon Barkley, continuing to come to form with this football team. And, he rushing for over 150. You know what I'm saying? If we can establish a run game against any team, like I said, we need to establish a run game. You're chewing up clock. The keeping that offense off the football field is what we need to do. Obviously they score lots of points, scoring over 40 in 2 games. I mean, you want to keep these guys on the sideline as much as possible. And so run that football. We've had the one thing that is a glaring shade of hope for us is like the last 2 games we have had drives over like 7 and 8 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Where we're actually scoring touchdowns on, and we really couldn't do that before. So that is a new element to our offense. That I am looking forward to them continuing, because when you go against the Saints, the Chiefs, some of these bigger, scoring teams, you're going to have to control the time of possession. And I think even the Falcons game, we led to time of possession in that game. We just lost the football game. So run Saquon, man, run them like crazy. Let's silence the crowd, keep that crowd, because you guys got one of the best crowds. You guys are, diehards like we are in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? So like run that rock, keep them guys quiet. Keep them on the sideline as much as possible, and let Saquon go wild. And let's see Saquon do like he kind of did the first week of the season, scoring his touchdowns in the air and, on the ground, and let him be the focal point in this offense. A 2 hot take will be defense, get off the snide with the sacks. You know what I'm saying? We have the talent. They just haven't produced. So, let's see some of these players that we've been expecting to really dominate come out there, show up and show out. I want to see a Jalen Carter sack. I want to see a Bryce Huff sack. I want to see a Sweat sack. We need a multiple sack football game. You know what I'm saying? If we can go out there and get like 4 or 5 sacks, I think it'll definitely be in our favor. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Derek Carr is like, he's good. You shake him up early, though, it can be another game, because he does have another side to him. Everybody know about, what I'm saying? That's the reason why he's not with the Raiders right now. Because there is that other side of Derek Carr, but it only takes if you get to him. If you don't get to him, you won't see that side, and it's going to be a long day. You know what I'm saying? So keep him off the field and get to him early will be my 2 hot takes. And then a 3rd hot take would be like turnovers, man. These games come down to turnovers. Plays made and plays not made. You know what I'm saying? This defense needs to continue with its turnover, savvy defense. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some turnovers here, whether it's interception with the secondary, whether it's forced fumbles from the linebackers, or whether it's, even turnovers on possessions, which we've actually have done a good job with. I think we've had, we stopped like at least like 4 fourth down, had 4 fourth down conversions that they did not make because our defense made stops on. So keep those things up, and play smart football. Don't turn over the ball yourself. We do these things, man. I think it's definitely possible for it to go into New Orleans here, hostile environment, like I said, and win a football game. So
there you go. Say, bro, let me ask you this one final question, man, here for you. Outside of Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts contributing in the running attack, do you guys have any? Do you utilize anybody else? I know you got Kenneth Gainwell on the squad. Do the offensive coordinator utilizes Gainwell in the combination role along with Barkley and in your running attack? Does he do any of that?
Gainwell's been coming in mostly in the red zone. But like I said, we do still got the rookie from Clemson over there.
Shipley,
yeah. Who looked really good in the preseason. We haven't seen too much of him during the regular season. Like you said, it's time to start. I know you went into the season thinking you're going to feature these guys, but these guys went 2 games without, really making a stand mark. It's time to feature some other guys too. Let's see what Will Shipley can do now that he's, 3 weeks in. He's had a nice, preseason. He's another guy I think that, will be a great compliment. Like I want him to eventually take over to number 2 spot. I'm done with Kenny Gainwell. We've seen him long enough. And not saying he sucks, but I'm not saying he's great. You know what I'm saying? So it's time for him to really come out and take over the spot. It's there for the taking. And this will be what more better than taking over New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Like, come come out there. Let's get him some carries too. But at the end of the day, I do feel like Saquon's a bell cow. So, you might not see too many carries. That's the thing with the backup running backs. Like I said, in terms of backup receivers, man, let's see Jahan Dotson. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to be focusing on Smitty.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Dallas Goedert's a target. Everybody sees Saquon Barkley can get the ball out of the backfield in terms of the pass catching. Let's get scheme open to Han Johnson. Show that you are a good corner. You can scheme open whoever you want. Let's get Dotson in there. You know what I'm saying? Because I do believe he can make an impact if we give him the opportunity to. I'm not sure if he's just because he's not getting separation, or it's just Jalen's not comfortable with him yet because he didn't have no offseason with this guy. He ain't played with this guy. So he's like, yeah, you cool, but, I'm going to go to the guys I know about right now. And then if you can make a play, but it'll take that, like with him, I feel like just take that one spark. You know what I'm saying? You make that one play, a big play, then I think that'll open up Jalen's comfort level, and he might consider going to you a little bit more. So I want to see Jahan Dotson get out there and make some plays, and then the sky's the limit for this offense, man. I think we'll be good after that.
Yeah, it's a full 4-3 guy with plenty of speed, man, that can stretch the field, and you best believe that the offensive coordinator is going to attempt to try to get him locked in the game, and hopefully he'll try to get him a strike downfield, because the guy is a blazer, man. I watched him play at Penn State, and I think he's a phenomenal young wide receiver with talent, and it's only a matter of time before he sinks. So we have to pay attention to that, like you said, covering up Smith, and of course you got Dallas Goedert, but Dotson has got to make it. We got to watch out for him.
Yeah, with AJ out, you got to do your thing. That's what I feel like. AJ's out. You got to do your thing. Let's get the popcorn. Let's give the fans what they want. Get out there and make a play. Like at the end of the day, I just want it to be a good, clean game. I really don't even want to see a blowout either way. I'm not. What I'm saying, I want to see a nice, hard-fought football game, and I want to see the playmakers step up and make plays.
Indeed. All right, man. This is a phenomenal, man. I appreciate you stepping here and just dropping game. Birdgang 31, always coming in, represent, very intelligent brother, well-spoken, talking truth to power about his club, bro. Tell the family members where you could be found, bro.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, reaching out to me. Like I said, I missed your first text. I was like, hey, we can get it done tonight. Let's get it done tonight. You know what I'm saying? So it was always a pleasure working with you, man. Anytime you call me, I'm down, to get down with you, man. You're one of the best out there. I remember the first time I was your 1,000th subscriber. You know what I'm saying? I remember I was your 1,000th subscriber. And that day, it was one of them things where you're just like, dang, man, this guy just hit 1,000, but you got hundreds in the chat, my guy. Like, how is that possible? I'm working on 2,000 or whatever, and I don't even got hundreds in the chat like that, because you bring that real knowledge, you bring that real, entertainment content that, I'm saying, like you speak the truth out there. So, I'm saying, keep doing what you're doing. You can find me on Birdgang 31. I'm saying, working on trying to hit that 10,000 mark. So if you guys will go ahead and subscribe, I drop my good call. I might get a little crazy sometime, but what I'm saying, it's only out of love for the Philadelphia Eagles. But I love all football in general, and I'm looking for any sport. We got all kind of fan bases in my chat. You got Cowboys, you got Niners, you got New York, Little Man, and you got the Commanders out there. So, and then you also got there's some other teams up in there. So we welcome everybody over there. We're a nice platform to listen to some good football talk, and I try to have fun doing this as much as possible.
Well, that's good, man. Congratulations on your success, man. You come a long way, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, man, because you're doing it, man. That's I remember that we first had that conversation, man. Mm-hmm. You took all that information, bro, and you just boom, you ran with it. So, bro, congratulations to you on there, man.
Are you going to the game before I get out of here? Are you going to the game?
No, I'm not going, bro. I'm gonna be chilling. I got my boys on this weekend, so I got some stuff I'm gonna be doing at home, cooking and all that, the family stuff, I usually do. But I will be live streaming the game, because every game I do the what we call it, the watch parties, which I do the live game play-by-play calls on the game. So I do that every Saints game, man, and their pre-game, post-game to all of that. So it's a 5-hour affair. We be in here having fun, laughing. I'll be hitting the special effects buttons and everything. It's just an event, and it's pretty cool.
Hey, for all you New Orleans fans that are in the chat, y'all see me down there. Be nice. Be nice. Okay, 'cause it's my first time in New Orleans. I'll be celebrating with you guys for two. I'll be there from Saturday to Sunday. So make sure if you guys see me out there, say what's up. And you guys be nice. Be some birthday the first time in New Orleans. I hear you can get a little rowdy over there. So I want to make sure that y'all know there's nothing but love. I will be repping the Eagles tough. Decked out my Eagle green, but y'all can still be nice to me out there.
Man, you're gonna get the best treatment down here, bro, because we all good, brother. We all respectable. It's just like when you got the Cowboys and they start talking mess and being very disrespectful, then we got a second line in their town and turn their building into our building.
Right.
So you love that too, because you hate the Cowboys.
I hate the Cowgirls every day, especially on Sunday.
All right, so hey man, shout out to Birdgang, man, for popping in, man. Listen, we thank all of you guys for tuning into this Saints Eagle preview, man. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share the show on y'all social media, fam. We up in this thing, man. We're gonna holler at you on next one. I'll be back Friday, man. On the Friday stream, we'll go over the final injury report. We'll place a few interviews from Dennis Allen and others, man. We'll go and see what happens with Taysom and everything. All that, we'll do it tomorrow on the Friday stream. So much love to y'all. Appreciate y'all. Who dat? And I'm out.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who dat. I'm a who dat. Long as I'm living, I'm a who dat. Lose or winning, I'm a who dat. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who dat. I'm a who dat. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shade for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a who dat. Every day I'm living, I'm a who dat. Lose or winning, I'm a who dat. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who dat. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network. WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform's store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform